Taking down the first map and pointing to the second and third maps, Waninyekova stated, "These two maps are really what I want you to pay attention to. This first map is what the planet looked like during the beginning of creation. The Pangea began to break up. Some people have different times when this happened, but through tectonic plate movement caused by mantle convection, and just as the Pangea was formed through the activity from rift zones, it also generated this supercontinent to separate. I guess that was when the people separated, during the Tower of Babel, and it looked pretty much like this map here, and since the Abenians came now, it pretty much looks like an ice sandwich. By looking at this first map, you'll know where these places are located. Today, some don't exist anymore, and now most humans just live along the equator. Anyways, as I was saying, the parts of the earth inhabited by the children of Shem were parts of the territory of Assyria and Elam, or simply Persia east of the Tigris River, the eastern part of Syria, and parts of the Arabian Peninsula. The second classification of humanity was the Hamites, who controlled the great centers of civilization in ancient times soon after the flood. This civilization included the continent of Africa, the land of Canaan or Israel, and parts of Arabia, Syria, Phoenicia, Turkey, Babylonia, southern Persia or Iran, East Pakistan, and India. And the third classification of humanity was the Japhites, from Japheth, the youngest son of Noah. The offspring of Japheth occupied what was known as the Isles of the Gentiles, the shore territories of the Mediterranean Sea in Europe and parts of Asia Minor, for they migrated northward over the entire continent of Europe and a prominent part of Asia. Japheth's descendants traveled west, north, and northeast of the mountain of Ararat and the Caucasus Mountains. Waninyekova looked up and noticed that he had attracted an enormous crowd attentively listening as he continued. Gomer was the ancestor of the first Sumerians and the later Cimbri, including other offshoots of the Celtic family and the Gaels of Ireland, Scotland, and the Hebrides Islands. The second son of Japheth was Magog, the father of the Magagites. Flavius Josephus, remember that name? For he was a great Jewish historian, and he said that the Greeks called these people Scythians. The Scythians included all the wandering tribes who dwelt near the north of the Black and Caspian Seas. The ancients regarded them as tremendously lacking in intelligence and civilization. Japheth's third son, Madai, is the father of the Medes. They were located in the southern part of the Caspian Sea and later united with the Persians to form one race. From Javan, the fourth son of Japheth, came the Ionians and all the Greeks. Tubal, the fifth son of Japheth, is associated with Javan, Meshech, and Tubal, which are nations of the north. The last son of Japheth was Tiras, the father or ancestor of the Thracians. This land, Thrace, was north of Turkey, Asia Minor, and northeast of Greece. Japheth's grandson, Ashkenaz, formed the Germanic race. In Hebrew, the name Ashkenaz means German. The Germanic tribes were nomadic people. They were Lombards, Burgundians, Franks, Saxons, Angles, Jutes, Ostrogoths, Visigoths, Suevis, and Vandals. These 10 Germanic barbarian tribes settled all over Western Europe. All these tribes were the descendants of Japheth. The Europeans did not have any great civilization immediately after the fall of Greece and Rome. During the Middle Ages, the black nations of Africa and Asia had the most remarkable political, economic, educational, and military influence in the world. At this time, Europe existed in a state of darkness for 1,000 years. The earliest civilizations began in North Africa and the Middle East among the black races.